everyone, it's Andrea and Rene for Clever Games. I'm sitting here with Drew Walkup. He is one of our awesome producers here at Clever, normally behind the scenes, but he was schlepping around E3 with me, so I thought we should talk about our experience there.
Why not?
Clearly, as you can tell, my voice is kind of going. We're shouting over the loudspeakers in the convention hall all week.
And the networking events, too. There are a lot of networking events, which you had to shout over.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's part of E3, is going to all the events after the show floor closes.
That's right.
We went to the Sonic party
Boom
that
party.
Sega put on.
Mm-hmm.
We also went to the Forza 4 event where we got to see really cool, like, $1 million cars.
It was awesome.
And Mixed Master Mike and Travis Barker played on stage.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
Yes.
And we also hung out with a bunch of peeps from a lot of other outlets like Joystick, Destructoid, IGN, Shack News, tons of people that we know. So that was lots of fun too.
Yeah, it's great.
So this was your first E3.
This was my first E3. It was exciting. It was big. It took me a little while to kind of acclimate myself to the whole experience, but you know, it was awesome. It was like a giant arcade.
What was the first word that popped into your head the moment you walked into the show floor?
The first word that popped in my mind was, "This is incredible," because you walk in there.
That was like what? This is incredible. That's 3 words.
Well, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Sometimes I think in sentences, you guys. But you know, you walk in there and there's like giant billboards. There's like Nintendo, Microsoft. Like you get games. Like my favorite game, Assassin's Creed. Like there was just, it was crazy. It was so cool.
Yes, E3 is quite an amazing experience, and I'm glad you brought up Assassin's Creed because that's also one of my favorite games.
Yes.
Not my #1, but definitely in the top 10. And they were showing off the multiplayer for Assassin's Creed Revelations, and we got to get an inside look at the single-player campaign.
Which was cool. I gotta tell you though, I'm like the biggest Assassin's Creed fan ever. And when Brotherhood came out, I was stoked for it. I loved it. I thought that they really enhanced a lot of the gameplay features. But for Revelations, after seeing the opening, I just didn't feel like they really broke out of the mold, or, you know, in Brotherhood we got to see...
What are you talking about? They're bringing Altair back, which is phenomenal.
Cool. Yes.
You get to, and he's a playable character.
Yes.
And of course, Ezio is a seasoned master assassin now, so
Which
he's
is
much
awesome.
more powerful than he ever has been before. You're meeting all these new characters. You're getting new bombs that you can put together yourself or that you can get from other people, which are really cool.
True.
You have a heightened eagle sense. So let's say you throw a smoke bomb, you can actually see all the people amidst the smoke.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really neat.
That is awesome.
You got the new hook blade.
No,
not sold on that?
Listen, I just feel like the hook blade is a cool enhancement, and I'm waiting to see where it goes, what abilities you'll be able to have with that. But, you know, in Brotherhood it was like, oh, we get to use these artillery batteries, and we get to, like, ride in a cart, and we get to do all these crazy things, and I just didn't, like, get that, like, wow factor from this one.
Well, in the demo that we got with Falco, who works with Ubisoft, he showed us the Greek fire weapon, which I thought was really cool.
That was cool, yeah.
And I asked him about the vehicles and things like that, and I said, you know, in Brotherhood, as fans of the game will know, you destroy everything. All of Leonardo da Vinci's creations, you don't want them to fall into the hands of the Borgia, so you destroy them. And I said, why would you create these awesome tanks and weapons and all this cool stuff, and then I have to blow it up? So he gave me a pretty interesting answer, and I think that we're going to be able to see some really cool new vehicles in Revelations. I think that you just need to see a little bit more to be convinced.
I do. I need to see more, and I'm sure that the game's going to be awesome. And the thing is, I would have bought this game no matter what, just because of the huge cliffhanger that they left us on in Brotherhood. Like, I need to know more.
Yeah.
So if the game, like, if they didn't introduce any new gameplay things, I would still go out and buy it tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, Constantinople. What a gorgeous setting. So. But we saw lots of other things at E3.
It's true. We did.
Anything else leave impressions on you?
You know, I really thought the PS Vita was cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I didn't know that it had, like, a back touchscreen.
Oh, yeah, the touchscreen, the reverse touchscreen.
I didn't know that until we checked it out yesterday.
I was actually very skeptical about the PlayStation Vita, or formerly the NGP, or Next Generation Portable, that's now officially branded the Vita. I was just kind of like, I don't know, it's really large, and I've never really been much into Sony's handhelds. I love my PS3, but I tried the PSP outright when it first came out, like years ago, and never really got into it. And this thing, I was like, it looks gigantic, like, it's going to be expensive, like, I don't know. But after playing with it, I was really pleasantly surprised at how much I really liked it.
Yeah.
And it felt really great in my hands. It wasn't too heavy. And of course, we do have more videos on that. I did quite an extensive demo session with it with the great folks over at Sony. Got to see 4 different titles. So I think Nintendo's going to have a run for their money with PlayStation's Vita.
I think so too. I completely agree with you. One thing that I want to talk to you about, though, is Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay.
Because we went and checked it out yesterday.
Yes, we did.
We got the whole walkthrough, and tell me your thoughts, Andrea. Tell me what you think.
Well, all right. For those of you out there that don't know, Tomb Raider is completely being rebooted. Like, they're deconstructing everything you know about Tomb Raider and just building it from the ground up. The graphics look amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, like a lot of games we saw at E3 this year, the level of quality of the visuals in games has been just completely elevated. Yeah. And I think that it looks fantastic. But I think that I'm really on the fence about where they're going in the direction as far as who is the character of Lara Croft. Like, who is she? Where did she come from? Like, I really kind of think it's cool that they're taking that direction in the storyline. But I'm not sold on the characterization that they made of her. I really feel like they took the strong female character and kind of broke her down a little.
They did, but that's what I like about it. I think that it's cool that they're taking this franchise that's been created with this strong female character, and they're taking her back, and they're showing you how she gets to the Lara Croft that we all know and love. Like, we're getting to know her from her roots.
I know, but like it's just a departure from the canon of Tomb Raider, because Lara Croft is really kind of more of a characterization. She's more of like a larger than life kind of personality, and they're making her more human, which some people may like, but for me, I'm like, you know what? I don't need my video games to be lifelike all the time. I don't need it to be realistic. I don't need it to be reality, because that's part of the joy of games, is getting to escape reality into your video game. And now they're like bringing like reality right in your hands, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not really sold on it. And she was such a sissy in the demo. She was screaming all the time.
She was not a sissy.
She was.
Okay, I agree with you. She was screaming a lot.
I said if you looked away and were listening to the demo and you didn't know what it was, I'm just saying.
Okay.
You should listen to it. It doesn't sound good.
But she does get impaled and her ass kicked by a lot of things, and she still comes out just running. Like, she's hardcore.
I know. I'm just saying.
All right.
I'm on the fence about it. I need to see more, and I need to go hands-on with it to really make a definitive. But right now, I'm just a little leery. That's all.
That's cool.
I'm not saying it's bad, because clearly the game looks amazing. The mechanics are really cool. The storyline is really intriguing, and the locations and things exotic. It's Tomb Raider. But I just want to see where they're going to go with her. That's all.
All right. I like that.
Anything else before we wrap up?
I mean, there's just so much.
Oh my God! Can we please talk about Saints Row the Third?
Yes. Okay, I describe this as Grand Theft Auto on crack, but I don't know. What do you think?
Grand Theft Auto on crack. Well, that's kind of interesting. Fans of the Saints Row games will definitely not be disappointed. It's very, and for people out there that have never played Saints Row, it's just this larger than life. Like, the guys in the demo booth were like, it's gratuitous, it's in your face, it's unapologetic. And it is. I mean, literally, we're sitting in the demo room, and the announcer is like, in what other game are you going to be able to take a giant purple dildo and beat a homeless man with it? And we were all like, what? And then the character goes and does it. I was just like, oh my gosh.
It's nuts. It's incredible.
Yeah. We have a really great interview with one of the developers over at THQ. He's actually in charge of global marketing communications for THQ. And we were talking in depth about the game, so you guys will have to check that out as well. It's just,
it's ridiculous,
but
ridiculously awesome.
Ridiculously awesome.
Yes.
I was kind of comparing it to like the Bulletstorm of last year's E3.
Okay.
Bulletstorm came out, and it was just kind of this like run and gun, like in your face, dick joke shooter, and everyone was like, it's so crazy, but it's awesome. And I think that's kind of what Saints Row is. It's super outlandish and over the top, but really fun.
Okay, one last thing before we close up.
Yes.
I want to know what you think. Modern Warfare 3 or Battlefield 3?
I mean, there's a lot of arguments back and forth on both sides, but I've always been more of a Call of Duty fan.
Really?
Yes, I just have. I really like the way that they put their games together. I really loved the campaign in Black Ops, which is the previous game done by Treyarch, and now it's back at Infinity Ward. And I hated that there was like this bad tension whenever I talked about Black Ops with the Infinity Ward guys, and I was like, you guys are under the same family.
Yeah.
Like, shake hands and forget about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I gotta go hands-on with the Spec Ops survival mode, which is brand new, which I talk about with Robert Bowling in an interview on our channel, which you guys should check out. And I really liked it.
Yeah.
I really like the new scopes, and I think they're gonna bring on some cool new weapons and the locations. And true to Call of Duty, you're going to get in a bunch of awesome vehicles, and it takes you all over the world. I don't know. What's your argument for Battlefield? I mean, if you like Battlefield better.
This is the thing, is that for me, first-person shooters, like, I loved Wolfenstein 3D back in the day. I loved Doom. Like, those were awesome games. And as I, like, got older, you know, I didn't play them as much. And I don't know why that is, but maybe it's just, you know, I feel like during the time when I was growing up, maybe the first-person shooters weren't as intense and they didn't have as many options. They weren't as realistic as they are today. And so I kind of grew out of them. And so when Call of Duty came out, I just never really got into it. I picked it up, I rented it, I was trying to play it, and I couldn't get into it. Fanboys, don't kill me. But
I want to know, like, if it's because you think it's super realistic. I mean, Battlefield 3. I mean, it looks so lifelike.
That's the thing for me.
The visuals in it it's almost too lifelike for me. Like,
really?
I don't want to feel like I'm actually shooting a person. You know, it's one thing if it's like this granular dude that's like jumping out from behind a corner or something. I'm like, that's always been my beef with military shooters.
Right.
Is that it's like they're too lifelike for me.
Okay.
And that's why I like, you know, like Halo and other things like that.
You're killing aliens.
Right.
And you're on a different planet and everything.
Right. It's total fantasy.
See, I don't know who's going to win between the two games, but the reason why I'm really excited for Battlefield 3 is because of the Frostbite 2 engine. The new engine that they have, that game just, it looks so beautiful and like you said, so realistic, so lifelike that, you know, I can't wait. That will be a game that I will go out and buy day one because I want to play it and I want to see, you know, I want to see what my PS3 can do with it. So.
All right. Well, you'll have to report back and I'll report back about Call of Duty.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for stopping by and listening to us chat about E3. Like I said, we have tons of coverage on the channel about it. We've got great interviews, hands-on demos, inside looks at games, and lots of other cool stuff. So check it out here at Clever Games. Thanks so much. I'm Andrea, Rene, and I'll see you later.
Bye, guys.